Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atlaran Adventuring Company. I'm your Dungeon Master, Taylor Wallace, and joining me I have Astrid Knight.
Hello, you can find me everywhere. Basically everywhere. At Astrid K Writes or my website astrodnight.com. I wrote
You're doing it. You're good. Nope.
I've written a book. It's called Perception Check. I'd swear I write better than I talk. Yeah, you should go read it. It's about Dungeons and Dragons and depression. So the three Ds. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell by how gay I look right now with my aviators, I think these are new since the last time we streamed. So
I don't care how many straight men there are in here. This is the gayest chat I've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
We also have, speaking of gay, we also have Blake Wolfe.
That's all I am.
Yep.
Gay.
It's your brand.
Yep, that's it.
Woo. All right, so I'm Blake R. Wolfe, and I write gay werewolf romance. Yep, you can find it. It does things to people. Yep, that's pretty much it. Exactly. See, Harris knows. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a few books. Go check them out, I guess.
A few.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
It's less bombastic.
Whoever's changing my laundry, thank you.
And then we have Zack Gale.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, God. It's back. Okay.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
I forgot.
So, look, I'm studying PowerPoint slide transitions so that I can make sure to, keep doing these. I have not figured out the origami bird yet, but I
Wait,
will.
how are you going to do a star wipe?
How are you
We'll
studying
figure it out.
PowerPoint?
So
Right.
Here's the thing, Harris. There is a dimension of your book that you haven't explored yet. The inside.
The third.
It's true.
Oh,
That's true.
Twilight Zone.
Every time I'll just read a page. So, every 2
Flaps
weeks, it's just
open.
fucking
Into
stories.
the screen. My God.
Yeah, I wrote a book. Some Empty Houses Might Really Be Haunted. It's got spooky scaries in it, and it's, great for spooky scary times, or if you just like spooky scaries. I write just as well as I talk, which is not badly.
Up. No.
Not badly.
But if you're into vag scoffing werewolves, you can read that book.
Ooh, she got 8 while she was getting 8. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wasn't expecting that phrasing, but
That
right.
phrase came to me like a bolt of lightning, and I was like, I have to say it.
look, sometimes you just gotta hork down some crotch.
Wow. I heard vag scoffing, and all I
Yeah,
I did
imagined
too.
was
Correct.
was a vagina
Going down
going-
and just being like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
See anything
It's
you
just
like?
like a very sudden queef.
Vag scoffing
Oh no, I
werewolves.
thought it was like the other person scoffing at the vagina.
Oh,
No,
I was
I
thinking
mean
of an
scoffing
actual
as in
vagina
eating.
scoffing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funnier.
Oh,
Scoffing, chowing,
noshing.
notching.
Ah.
I don't want
Of a
any of
gomper.
those.
Anyway, we also have Zach Koop, who's been suffering quietly
Poor
in the
Koop.
background.
Whenever
Poor
that
Koop.
part of that book comes
Poor
up,
Koop.
or really any time I'm preceded by you chuckle fucks, I never really know what to say other than I'm Zachary Koop. You can find me on my socials at Zachary Koop, and I am going to spend the next couple of minutes contemplating how much of the previous 3 minutes I'm going to cut from this before
None.
it gets posted.
0.
Taylor,
It's not Twitch. We're
what about
fine.
you? What do you do?
It was fun. You can't cut it. Hello,
Yeah.
my name is Taylor Wallace. I'm a dungeon master and an editor. Who'd have thunk? And
Oh.
what the fuck is the rest of my intro? Oh yeah, you can.
I like-
I don't go on the X anymore, really, but I am on there. You can find me if you misspell Taylor with an IY.
I
Hi,
like.
why?
Um, Taylor Wallace, yeah, at Taylor Wallace. All of our links are in our link tree on screen or in the descriptions wherever you're watching. You can also check out Wayward and the Wanderer, a book that we wrote together and are working on the second one about our first campaign. And if you like our stream and want to support us, check out the Redbubble link as well. Shall we go to Atlaran, my friends?
Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's shall.
The story thus far. So, this was case one, the Oskory Vanishment, which we are wrapping up now. When we began, the crew were split into disparate parts as part of a caravan traveling to Oskory, with Todd being the pet of a tarot reader, Damian and Ezra being together as mercenaries for the crew, or the caravan, and Preston being kind of separate on his own. When the entire caravan was killed, but you guys, for some reason, survived. And following what clues you could find, you gathered that monsters had eaten or made off with the members of the caravan. You took what you could into town, and I believe you got some money for it. And started investigating around town, being that you were there on a contract from the King of Killian to figure out why people keep disappearing in this area, leading to it being on lockdown. You learned about the little town of Oskory and how it is defended by dolls and statues that are enchanted with some kind of ward. About the Ebonmain Knights who walk the streets with living statues at night. And you learned about the Black Abbey, run by the abbess and the order master of the local order of Ebonmain. Guys, you gotta let me get through this. I'm rushing through episodes here. You also learned about the Lyware Light, a lighthouse created, whose enchantment was created by Ninian Lyware, a former order master. And you met the Wiki, who keeps the lighthouse, and also saved him from some guys who got shipwrecked because the light was not doing its normal thing. It was being used to defend from monsters and not to guide ships when they crashed. You managed to gain some confidence with the Order of Ebonmain, enough to start researching in their library. You found out there was another problem going on, something to do with potentially the Feywild leaking into the area. And you met a person out in the woods named Vudan who called himself a bone keeper, or basically someone who looks after abandoned bodies and makes sure that everyone gets a good burial. And he has been overloaded because of a creature in the woods in the fog. You took on this creature and found it to be a sort of Feywild variant on a young false Hydra. And you managed to defeat it, and finally the sort of Fey nonsense in the area began to fade away, though there's still a little timey-wimey stuff going on. Heading back to talk to the Order about Vudan potentially helping with their understanding of the defenses of the town, because no one knew how to use the mosaics in town anymore. You came to find out that the abbess had been murdered, and Damian managed to figure out, kind of at the last second, or no, sorry, Ezra was going to use Speak with Dead to communicate with the abbess when Kedwin revealed himself as either a traitor or having been taken over by the monsters from the Shadowfell. And you ended up fighting him. Damian went down in that fight, I believe, but managed to get some good hits in. With him gone and the abbess gone, the captain of the Knights of Ebonmain, Captain Galen, took over as acting order master and gave you guys full access to everything in and under the abbey, including the Black Dragon mosaic and the restricted section of the library. You were able to gather plenty of information for your mission and so for some personal missions. And Todd discovered, through very clever means, hi Yoongi, that beneath the Black Dragon mosaic's black circle, Ninian Lywer herself was still there, stored as a future sacrifice to activate the town's defenses. She was appalled to learn that more mosaics had been made, and even more appalled to learn that no one knew how to use these defenses anymore, because someone had been destroying all records of these since a long time ago. She told you that she could activate the defenses, but she required a sacrifice or a promise to Tiamat, the patron, or the matron, I guess, of the Order of Ebonmain. And Ezra gave up his ability to tell someone in particular that he loves them. With that self-aerialification, we sort of zoomed out to see columns of light explode from all of the mosaics to create a protective dome over the village of Oskory, which would last, as you understood it, a fortnight, or 10 days in the world of Atlaran. Vudan stayed behind to keep learning about the glyphs. I believe Todd was the one who accidentally activated the defenses in particular by fucking around with the mosaic, so good job.
Yay.
But Vudan stayed behind to work with Galen, and you guys headed back to the Ivory and Red Inn where you have been staying to rest, get up very early, and head for the volcano, which has begun to erupt. Once there, you discovered something you had heard mention of, an enchanted weapon that was taken by someone to potentially fight monsters in the volcano, the Shacks. A shovel and axe combination. Yes, that was a reference to Shovel Knight, which Damian took along with you, which actually became useful at one point, not for at all the reason I expected. Once in the volcano, you guys managed to mostly sneak in and found the interior of the volcano covered with hundreds and thousands of bugs and bats and spiders. And in the central caldera, you found the creature known as Mother, a woman's upper body, once beautiful, now scarred and burned, attached to the body of a beetle, trapped inside a portal to the Shadowfell that was just above the surface of the lava. She was wedged in place, unable to go forward or back. So, as Todd snuck in and made direct eye contact with Mother, the battle began with Damian fucking teleporting across the room at high speed.
Double dash.
Where he laid down his cane full of gunpowder to try to block one of the lava flows and ran back just as fast. Preston and Ezra started using some AoE spells to cause damage to Mother, and also, or sorry, Todd and Preston began using AoE spells to damage Mother and also block another lava flow. And Ezra was gently attacked by bats in between attacking Mother. I love that that was the way I described it last time. It was great. But eventually, Preston was downed at a very bad moment, thankfully spared from dying by Ezra, as the lava began to rise out of control with the outflows blocked once the bridge was destroyed by Damian's pipe bomb. You guys began to escape, Todd straight up and out with Mage Hand. When, because of the rising lava, the mother's carapace was melted enough that she came free of where she was stuck. She managed to get a hold of Ezra for a moment, but Damian hucked a Molotov at her face, and when she dropped Ezra, you guys were lucky enough that Damian was able to... I kind of went a little weird on the action economy, but I allowed Ezra basically advantage to see which direction he fell, and Damian managed to catch him. You guys got Preston back up. Todd fled upward, and you got the fuck out of there. Also picking up an item that the mother had thrown to save it from the lava. Ezra grabbed a black stone off the ground. You managed to escape the volcano down into the valley and up into the hills to safe ground when Ezra realized that this black stone had just imbued him with the power to go anywhere he wanted. So he said, "Everybody, touch me!" Um, and everyone did, including Damian's mimic arm. And you guys, with the intent to go to the ivory and red, you actually only teleported 30 feet away in an explosion of delicious bread.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that.
Me
Damian
too.
was so fed up with the whole situation that he opened his coffee flask with a natural 20 and got coffee all over the bread. In just a fire hydrant explosion. He drank some. Ezra started packing away coffee bread in Todd's little pouch, and you guys headed back for town. And that was where we left off last time. I think that was a pretty good recap of the whole case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do not remember my coffee flask exploding, but
It was more of a
I
joke,
do.
but I loved it. So you guys, tell me how you want to go forward from here. Do you want to kind of skim the surface of things? Do you want to go in and actually talk to specific people? How would you like to approach this since we're wrapping up this case?
Step 1. We go back to Oskory.
Yeah.
Done.
We're here.
We're here.
Yeah. The
We're queer.
trek
Get
back
used
is a little longer because you don't have your horses, or was it drakes that you had?
Drakes.
His drakes.
Because they
Yeah.
ran the fuck away.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a day later you're able to get back into Oskory, find the dome still up, but you can peacefully pass through it. And you find that there are no monsters attacking the town anymore. They have all gone completely.
Step 2. Get paid.
Black Abbey. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
So, I assume having rested here and there along the way, as you do when you're traveling, you guys eventually get back to the Black Abbey to find the gates have been thrown open as people have realized that everything is stopped. The volcano has fully erupted, kind of a quiet eruption overall, that doesn't really threaten the town, though the occasional, like, shooting piece of rock that just pings off the dome. The few that actually make it that far. The lava flows are held in by the valleys and the hills in the distance, so there is no immediate threat to the town as far as you can see. But as you guys come in through the gates of the Black Abbey, you see several of the monks and priests of the Black Abbey. They clock you guys, and several of them go running toward the Clarion Basilica, and several more come running up to you, like, "Is there anything we can get you? Food, water, do you need anything at all?" Like, trying to be as hospitable as possible, but clearly fucking overwhelmed by the fact that you're alive and succeeded.
I need
Yes,
a
Mr.
werewolf
Chicken?
that's willing to bite people.
A kindly old grandma.
A werewolf that wants a McNugget.
A kindly old grandma in, like, gray robes looks at you and says, I don't think we have any of those in the pantry."
Well, how dare you?
Bandages.
Yeah.
Bandages?
For the
Bandages
sake of,
willing to bite people.
Yes.
for the sake of ease, there are several there that have some minor healing abilities that you guys would have had a long rest, but likely had some leftover, like, burns and shit. You are gently patched up, and make sure you all do your long rests.
I want to be roughly patched up.
I also
Roughly patched up,
Ooh.
ruggedly
imagine
handsome.
having just
Hot.
spent the better part of 2 days in or around a volcano. some fresh water would go a very long way right now,
Yes.
because our
Easily
lungs
done.
are probably begging for it.
Yes.
I just prestidigitate myself and I'm clean.
Congratulations. You do fit in a 5-foot square. It only takes one.
I do. Just takes one thing.
But while you are being tended to by the folks of the Black Abbey, Captain Galen, this sort of like late 30s black dragonborn, emerges from the Clarion Basilica and sort of hurries to meet you guys. As the acting order master, everyone is like swarming him with, "Oh my God, Captain Galen, they're back!" And he's sort of waving people away. Do we remember what his accent was? Was he Russian?
I believe so.
Yeah, because he's
No
a
clue.
dragonborn.
I
Yeah.
feel like the one we killed was slightly Irish.
He's Lochmany.
Well, he's dead, so.
Northern
Yeah.
Lochmany.
And he was a dwarf.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Welsh.
Oh.
Because he was a dwarf. But
What?
yeah, Captain Galen approaches you guys and he says, "I can't believe all of you are alive." And he kind of looks at Todd in particular.
Fuck you looking at?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
Yeah. That's right. There's a whole chicken here. I don't look like a fucking bucket of KFC walking back here.
He turns to Damian. He says, "So by the lack of monsters and the eruption, I assume things went well?"
As well as they could go.
We're not
I
dead.
forgot.
Is it over?
Anymore.
Yeah?
Hopefully.
It's definitely over for sure.
Maybe.
Over.
Most likely.
Yeah, there's a solid 65% chance that it's over.
What
Yes.
happened?
There's a lady in a hole,
Mhm,
and we kill her.
mhm. Yep.
I tell him what happened.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're not gonna just let us gaslight this poor guy for like the next.
I
For
assume
20
plenty
minutes?
of that is done during the conversation because that's what you guys do.
Yeah.
That's true.
You love to fuck with my NPCs.
Yep.
But as you
They're so
sort of walk him through all you've
fuckable.
learned and this monster that you encountered, he is the guard captain of a fairly, robust order, but one that's in the middle of goddamn nowhere. He has not had very much experience with big, crazy, approaching demigod-sized creatures from the Shadowfell. So he's decidedly a little overwhelmed. And you kind of catch like little nervous fidgets about him and how he was like, "Holy fuck, we just escaped certain doom."
Damian
And he
is
said-
all business and is like, tell the royal family the job is done. Like, that's the point that he's at right now. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. The job is done. It's time to get the fuck out of here.
I will inform them immediately then.
Thank you.
Thank you? I feel like that's not enough.
That's why these things have rewards.
Yeah, money
No,
would be
I know.
nice.
I will,
Oh.
of course, make sure you get all of your reward. It will be sent to you by the royal family. And if I can scrape anything else together for you, I absolutely will send it on. Is there anything I can do to help you get to where you're going next? You sound like you don't want to stay.
Well, we were talking about maybe going to Constanos next, which is going to be a bit of a trek.
I can secure you passage across the strait to where they have an airship dock.
Beautiful.
I can
Okay.
also purchase your tickets for you.
Oh, even better.
Yes, I will pay for your travel there, of course.
Keep talking.
If I do have to figure out how to get into the Abbey's treasury to get anything more for you, but I will send it to you via voter post immediately. Yes?
I can help you get in there.
Without destroying it.
Oh, I won't. You need to make a persuasion check.
Yeah, make a persuasion or deception. Don't tell me which.
Face immediately after that was
Yeah.
just like, oh, I won't.
Oh, not great. 12.
This dragonborn does not trust you.
I won't
What?
destroy
Why
it.
not?
I know there is a key. I just have to figure out where Kedwin and or fake Kedwin. I don't even know if that was Kedwin. I need to figure out where it is, and I will send it on post haste. I will, of course, send you with everything you need to make it to Constanos as well. But I don't know if you intend to stay another night. If you do, that's also on me. I would also like to offer something. And he reaches into a satchel at his side and pulls out a very tightly coiled, sort of golden shimmering scroll. He says, this, you can of course use it for whatever you want, but if you should ever need support from the Order of Evanmain, please send this to us with your request, and we'll answer as fast as we can.
Like, grab
And
it before Todd can.
yeah, you
It's like
receive
you know me.
you receive a scroll of sending, which can be used once a day.
It's a Vodro scroll.
Oh, damn.
It is a Vodro scroll.
Oh, I never got one of
Yay.
these last time because I had
Yeah, not
sending.
not a scroll of sending, a Vodro scroll that can be used once a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is dead useful. I'm pretty sure Noah had like 4.
Yeah. No, literally
Yeah.
by the end of the campaign,
Kept
Noah was like, I
taking
send
them.
this scroll of sending, and then I send this one, and then this one.
Yeah.
Now, this one was a weekly one, and this one was a daily one, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it was like,
Uh-huh.
That was
It was
your
like-
summon the Avengers thing at the end.
it was
Right.
literally your mini game that you were playing while the rest of
Yeah.
us were playing D&D.
Mhm.
Like,
Collect the scrolls.
Making bombs and
Mhm.
talking to people.
Oh,
That's
God.
Yep.
That
my
really
God.
was
Family
last
business.
campaign, though.
that was the working
Talking to
title
people
of
and
last
making
campaign,
bombs.
let's be real. Yeah.
You what?
That was the working title of last campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Making bombs and talking to people.
bombs and scrolls. That's a good fantasy metal band name. Like Guns N' Roses, Bombs and Scrolls.
Yeah.
Bombs and
Yeah.
scrolls.
But anyway, yeah,
Scrolls.
Galen gives you that. You can consider all of your passage to the other isle and passage to Constanos paid for. So you will not have any depending on what you decide to do between now and when you arrive in Constanos, any lifestyle expenses incurred while heading toward Constanos are paid for. If you decide to do other things along the way, you'll have to pay for those yourself.
I'm gonna do a D&D no, but I will
What?
run it by the rest of the group first. In character.
No, and
In character. In
No
character.
buts.
In character. Damian just big sigh after Galen goes away is like, I want to get the fuck out of here more than anything else. And you three are welcome to head towards Constanos before me. I'm going to stay. Just for a little while.
Or why though?
yeah, it's kind of my question.
Because adventuring groups never stick around to see if things actually get better. And I promised the abbess that I would make this, or I would leave this place better than I found it. It's not currently better than I found it. It's a mess. I want to stick around and just make sure that they're able to get their shit back together. I know what you're pointing at.
His dome kind of helps.
That
It's
is
definitely
better.
better.
Yep.
Can anyone tell
That was
me?
my contribution, so I wash my hands of it. But
Cool.
you know.
So go ahead of me if you want, but the people here are going to need help rebuilding, searching the woods for anyone that might be missing or hurt. I'm going to stay until I feel like I can leave.
Day. What if you never feel like you can leave? What if this place is just broken?
Then I'm going to have to weigh the needs here against the needs of the people in Constanos and choose when to leave anyway. I can call people who can help here, but I can't just leave right after the job is... Well, I can't just leave right after we think the job is done.
But the job is done.
Not for him. He wants to honor his promise.
While this is happening, Todd is in the background. You know how woodcock walk when they like jog slightly?
Yeah.
And he's just like, these boots are made for walking.
Oh my god.
That's just what they'll do. He's just being Priscilla Presley.
I fucking
right?
love
That's
that.
who did that, right?
No, that was Nancy Sinatra.
Nancy Sinatra. I get those two mixed up all the time.
That's okay.
Same person.
Practically.
He also weirdly has a small pair of red boots. You have no idea where they came from. I just
Yep.
prestidigitated.
Don't even question it anymore.
Yep.
You should just make it pink your feet.
I don't know make it pink.
No.
It's
Gonna be
unlocked.
taught.
You need a special badge for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fine. Yes, we're staying here then. At least I am.
Yeah,
But what about-
I'll hang around.
What about all the cigarettes in Constanos?
You are running kind of low.
You know, there's no cigarettes in this whole town.
No, they have cigarellos. They're like the little ones.
No! I might as well just die.
You have to
Like a
hand roll
clove
everything
cigarette.
yourself.
Yeah.
They have
But
no
they
filter.
come
You know,
without
that's pretty
filters.
sexy.
There's no filter.
I don't think any of the cigarettes here have filters, right? That's more
You
of a
can just-
modern.
You can just use them
invention.
like a straw. You can just suck
Very-
the tobacco right through them.
Very,
Ew.
very
Like
high
boba.
quality, expensive cigarettes do have filters.
Well, I'm not that bougie of a bitch.
No.
So.
Those Marlboros. They're Marlboros.
No, you know what? Ezra knows how to roll a cigarette. It's actually kind of sexy. So yeah,
Fuck
sure. Yeah.
He has a special little machine.
Called my hands.
Oh, well, they do make rollers. I work in
Yeah.
a dispensary, man. I know about
Well, yeah.
this stuff. Anyway. No, it's like a piece of cloth that it's
I
almost like a
know.
sushi maker.
I was thinking of like
yeah.
a little Jack in the Box. Just like waiting for the cigarette to pop out.
Don't,
Mhm.
cancer.
Yep, exactly.
Anyway, so who's going and who's staying and for how long?
I'm staying as long as Damian's staying.
Okay.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm doing it.
The plan for downtime was basically to stay here for like at most 2 weeks, just to help with any sort of rebuilding that they need to do, help with any sort of transfer of power, like all of that nonsense. And also, we'll probably get paid faster if we stay here. So that's the other part of it, is making sure we get that. I also, Taiylor, I don't know how much we get, but when we do get the reward, I'm going to send a good portion of it to Renee.
Gotcha.
Quick question. What's the drug scene like here?
Here on the edge of the sea,
Meth chicken.
Yep. Down by the sea.
It's about to
Um,
be a lot
Wouldn't
crazier.
it be lovely?
being where it is and being very far from any major cities, the most common drug here is panna.
Oh,
Do they have the
Hannah.
thing that we can use to make badger claw or whatever the fuck it is?
Hold on.
Do they have some mushrooms?
Atlaran ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca is a completely different plant, my dude.
Yeah, I know.
They got any of that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so as a refresher for everybody on the panna
Meth
thing,
chicken.
panna is one of the most common drugs in Atlaran.
Mm.
It's up there with like gosh, what could I eat? Well, it's kind of like where weed is in our world. So
Immensely popular.
it's also known as Ethovi root
Mhm.
or veerfoil or cellargrass, grey knox. It has a lot of different names. There are spikes and modifiers that you can use for it to
Hell yeah.
create different fun little mixes. Among those fun mixes, there are things known as Frenzy, Third Eye, and Claw Leaf. Um, so a badger claw is kind of named after a bear claw, the dessert. So badger claw is raw cocoa, honey, concentrated chili oil, and peanut paste. But weirdly, this combination with panna creates a substance known as claw leaf. Um, when they combine another mix called Dancing Blaze with it.
What's
Um,
the third eye one?
Third eye, well, just to get it out of the way real quick,
Oh,
claw
okay.
leaf causes euphoria.
Ooh,
Um,
okay, maybe that one.
and it's really like almost has like mildly magical side effects to it, but it's very, very deadly in that about 25% of people who take
Yes.
it, no matter how much they've taken before, die.
Hell yeah, let's go.
25%. Fuck.
Depending on the concentration and how strong how strong your different ingredients are. Third eye in tiny doses helps with anxiety. It kind of
It's
gives you
Xanax.
no, it's a little more akin to cannabis. Um,
Okay.
in that it brings you to sort of a calm state where you kind of feel drifting, but you're still like happy and alert. Um, Slightly higher doses are used for meditation and like spirit journeys, that kind of thing. High doses, about a teaspoon, um, renders the user blind to the material plane for days, but they can see
Yes.
into the ethereal plane.
I like
Um,
it.
but yeah, whoops, go away, stop, no, shut up. Okay, sorry. Um, those who use third eye often or use too much of it often lose their vision and become like they get PTSD from it. But in tiny, tiny doses, it is one of the most common anxiety and depression treatments in the world.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Teeny tiny.
So can I make the claw leaf?
It's super fucking easy to make.
Cool. Can I find all those things here?
Absolutely. It'll cost you a little bit, but you can.
That's fine. How much you want?
The chili oil is going to be the hardest thing to find in this part of the world. How much do you want to make? And also,
Mm,
how do you know the recipe?
I'm a chicken.
It's
Duh.
moderately common knowledge, but how do you know how much to use? Like, make me a history check.
I don't.
Considering the shit Todd's been into, I actually imagine he's probably been part of a drug ring before.
What the fuck does that mean?
18.
18? All right, yeah, you absolutely know how to make a sort of fast and loose claw leaf on the go without
My
like
history is +0.
yeah.
So that was a good roll.
I would say knowing what concentrations to use You could probably spend about, how much did you say you wanted to make?
What would 50 gold get me?
50 golds among one particularly rare ingredient would probably give you enough for 5 doses, with good concentrations.
And how much could I sell those for?
That depends on how much you want to haggle with people.
Okay. I'm
That
gonna go ahead.
also, it also takes, like, you can't just sell this substance. You have to be very careful about it.
Oh, I know. I'm a chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna spend like the first day or whatever making that. And then are we into downtime at this point?
Yes.
I was
Okay.
assuming we're just describing our separate
Okay.
downtimes.
I love that the crew is staying to help Oskory, and Todd is about to form a drug ring.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it
Help the
seems right.
economy.
So
Literally, though, it will.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No.
Let's leave it better than we found it. Let's create a drug problem.
yeah.
is there okay, so I want to spend a day making it, and then can I spend a couple of days seeing if I can sell it?
Yeah, make me a...
Oh, I also want to say when I sell it to people, I am
This is both Zack and Damian being non-complicit in what's happening.
Yeah, that's okay.
Bye.
when I'm selling it, I am going to use Mage Hand to bring it to people, and I'm going to speak directly into their minds. They're never going to see me.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
See how successful you are.
15.
15, okay. So you're basically targeting people, and if they're interested, a mage hand brings your shit out to them?
Yeah, and trades you for
Okay.
money.
Okay. I would say in the days following, as the townsfolk realize not only is it safe to go out again, it's safe to be out at night. There are still statues and knights walking around at night, but a full-on celebration breaks out in between the sort of rebuilding projects as there is some damage to the edges of the city. So basically, people spend all day working, supported from the town's treasury, and the alderman comes out to sort of do what needs to be done, purchase supplies, put in orders to the cities across the straits. But as it gets close to sunset each day, people drop everything they're doing and start drinking and feasting and playing music and all that, because now they can party at night like it's meant to be. So, in the evening on one of these days, Todd, you've been trying to find people to purchase this stuff, and you've almost gotten a couple people until they realized what it was that you were selling, and then they're like, whoa, 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 absolutely not, I'm not touching that shit. But this evening, as people are celebrating, you catch an Ebonmain knight who is clearly on like a break or something, who's off to the side in like his thorned armor with his helmet off, smoking a hand-rolled cigarette that he learned how to make from Ezra. And he just looks fucking beat. Like, it almost looks like from the state of his armor that maybe he broke up a fight today, or maybe he was dealing with something like a different threat going on somewhere. But he looks a little banged up, and just he's got deep shadows under his eyes, like he never sees daylight.
We're gonna come back to this guy because I know exactly what happened to him.
But he's just sitting there and he's alone, and he seems like the perfect target because this is a guy who needs a pick me up. So what do you
Yeah.
say to him?
Well, first of all, I'm going to make sure that I'm completely out of sight.
Okay, you're on a roof.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna telepath down to him, just bleh. Um, be like, hey, buddy, rough day.
And he's like mid-drag and he stops, blows the smoke out through his nose, looks around,
I
and
duck down behind the roof line.
he
And I
kind
just
of
like,
turns and he's like, what?
been a rough day, huh? You look rough. You look like you could use something to help you relax.
I mean, yeah, rough's an understatement, but where are you?
Nowhere and everywhere. I am the drug spirit. Do you want some claw leaf for a mere 25 gold?
Jesus Christ! Oh my god!
And he kind of stops and thinks about it. He's like, what's claw leaf?
Oh, bro, it'll give you the time of your life.
So you're the drug spirit and you want
I
me to buy
am.
drugs from you?
No, I'm gonna sell drugs to you, so yes, buy them from me. That's what you said. Thank you. 25 gold. Put 25
Canon.
gold on the
It's
ground and
all
walk away.
canon. And he says, how do I know I'll actually get the drugs?
All you have to do is make a wish to the drug spirit, and it will appear.
You heard your wish.
Okay. Oh, drug fairy. I wish upon a star that I could not feel shitty.
I mage hand, like completely silently. I mage hand it over, and I'm gonna stealth it into one of his pockets.
Okay. And he doesn't notice. I'm gonna let your persuasion check just carry this
Okay.
whole thing. And he kind of, after a moment of silence, he sighs. And he goes and reaches into his pocket for money, and he pulls out the little, like, baggie, and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, bippity boppity, go get fucked up.
And he, like, reaches into his pocket, and this guy's fucking stupid. He pulls out he pulls out 25 gold, and he's like, you know what, that was pretty good service. And he puts down 5 more gold on the ground, and he walks away.
Be blessed by the drug fairy.
You just hear in the distance,
Oh Christ. I mage hand the gold up, I tuck it in my pocket, and I GTFO, cackling
okay,
the
buddy?
whole way. Just like, ooh.
okay. Where'd you go? Why are you down there?
I'm using a stand-up desk
Oh, okay.
because it's better for me.
Gotcha.
What are you
Yeah.
What are you doing down there?
I'm messaging Taiylor, but Taiylor, you can ignore this when
Oh.
this message comes to you. It's for later during downtime.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, that
Oh.
night of Ebonmain...
As
what?
he's walking away, I do say one last thing. I'm like, make sure you tell your friends of the drug fairy.
Make me another persuasion check with advantage.
Yes, let's go. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's better. 21.
Okay. Alright. Fine.
What happens when we leave and the drug fairy isn't around anymore?
They'll build a statue. It's fine. Or else they'll be mad because that man will be dead.
Yeah.
25% of the people
25%
you
chance
sell
he's
to
dead.
will be dead. Yeah, so consider that, like...
Oh, he
one
gave me 30
dose of
gold.
your... Yeah, consider that one dose of your stuff gone. With that 21, I will say... you
What
are
else
able
is-
to sell off 2 more doses for another 50 gold over the next
Yeah.
couple of days.
Do they
As-
tip me as well?
With the 21, sure, add another 5 gold on there.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I love that
Make
Ben
it
never
big.
changes.
I'm just like, I want to make fake money. That's usually what I end up
You're
doing
pretty
in this game.
industrious about it, so you know
Yeah.
what? I can't knock the hustle.
I
So-
love selling drugs.
So that's what Todd does for about a week, if not more.
Hell yeah.
What is Preston doing during this time?
So Preston is Thinking about an idea that he has had for the last few days. And he's going to go to a couple of different shops, trying to find a few different items. Um, so he is trying to find um, what essentially looks like a bunch of tiny, like a bunch of small magnifying glasses, like like the ones that you would see sometimes where they're only like a couple of inches long, and then they have like a big like 1 inch lens in them.
Sort of like a jeweler's monocle looking contraption
Yeah, essentially, but maybe
with shifting lenses.
correct.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Okay.
and several pieces of glass that would be able to go into it, like several different kinds of lenses
Okay.
that would be able to potentially be put into it,
Okay.
just to see what he's able to come up with for it.
I would say that for something this small and intricate, you have two options.
Mhm.
You can either go to an actual jeweler and try to get a shifting lens monocle from them, or you can commission something cheaply because you will have sort of a hero's discount from a blacksmith to be more the exact thing you want.
Mm, that's that's a that's a ooh. So I think I'm gonna go the blacksmith route,
Okay.
just because I feel like there's going to be more difficulty in getting the actual like jeweler's loop to do what I want it to do.
Okay. So how many lenses do you want this thing to hold?
I would like it to have. I would like it to have the capacity to have 8 lenses on it.
Okay.
Um, and then I'm also going to need to collect either pieces of glass or like gemstone discs.
Okay.
Um, Perhaps something like quartz would be good for a starting one. I
So in
know that
that
you know what I'm
case,
getting at, but
yeah, so in that case, I would say both the blacksmith and the jeweler can help you.
okay.
Um, so the blacksmith would be able to create you something, being that it's going to hold 8 lenses, it needs to be a little more substantial than just a monocle. What he can make for you is basically like a three strap like head mount, sort of like those three strapped eye patches that go around two ways. He can
Mhm.
make something like that, almost like a goggle that you can flick lenses into the front of it, or you can pull them all out and see normally. Um,
Alternative idea that
yeah.
might be easier for him. If I were to have 8 of those little magnifying glasses
Uh-huh.
on like a key ring, where then they could just be
Um,
like cycled through, would also
that
be a good option.
that would create the potential for them to move around and be damaged. You can do that,
True.
but you might need a special case for them. It's up to you. That's a stylistic thing that's not actually going to change the way it works.
Oh, I was worried more about damage for the eye patch one.
Okay, so you would rather have like 8 individual things that you can actually hold like a monocle than have it mounted to your head.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like that's asking for it to be damaged if I were to be punched in the head.
gotcha.
Um,
Smart.
and then yeah, like a case to be able to like hold them
Mhm.
in would be fine.
Yeah, so yeah, in that case, I would say the blacksmith can definitely create the housings for these lenses and make them so that if you do want to use them, they can be like held here. But you will have like a case for them, so you can switch them out whenever you want. The jeweler is going to be the person who will be able to actually create the lenses for you so that they're, you know, the correct size and you can still see through them and get you the good materials you need.
Mhm.
So you're not just looking through a clouded piece of quartz. Between the two of them, I would say that this will take the whole time you're in Oskory, but they're happy to do this for you at a reduced rate. They will create these items for you, let's say like 100 gold.
Done.
It's a lot of customizing, but it is mundane items, so they can
Yep.
do that for you. The jeweler can, with that, also make some lenses out of semi-precious stones like garnet,
Mhm.
and such, so that you have a few different colors, and that may suit your needs later on as well.
Perfect.
Um, okay, so we'll talk more about the specifics of that later because I know what you're getting at, but we need to hash out the details.
Yeah, I'm going to be working on that on the ship.
Yeah. So while that is being done, how are you helping around Oskory, if you are at all?
Um, Basically, once I put my orders in, I am doing whatever I can to try and assist with with searches, with cleanup. I am probably working with Vudan to try and make sure that people understand how the mosaics work,
Hmm.
and so that there is a system in place for, like this isn't going to stay up forever.
Hmm.
And so that they know how to reactivate it at some point should they need to.
Yeah. From what Vudan has come to understand while you guys were gone, because he spent that whole time studying, he was be able to start compiling new notes about how the mosaics work. He was able to visit each one of them. Because apparently all the knowledge of this was destroyed previously, he writes down what you guys discovered and what he can glean from the different mosaics. Along his way, he discovers that the Black Dragon mosaic in the Abbey Warrens, like Todd sort of found out, is a bit of a control panel for all of them. But
Uh-huh.
each individual one does have specific things it can do. To create the town-wide defense that it created, the big dome, it does require sacrifices of something big, like a life.
Mhm.
But they can also do smaller things, like capturing creatures in that chamber. They can also be rigged up to uh, store like dangerous objects. He discovers that there is potential that if it ever happens again, like an Earthblood fountain pops up again, he can possibly use the mosaics to contain some of the like damage and energy they give off.
Mm.
Um, but most of all, the mosaics are made for that town-wide defense and also to, on the daily, kind of passively repel threats. Uh, he also learns a little bit more about the Lyweird lights, and how to use it in its entirety. The wiki, Captain Pendry, actually is one of the few people with literature about how it's supposed to be used. So Vudan copies that, and he starts using the old Order Master's office as an archive for all the stuff about these defenses. The beacons are kind of not useless now, but less necessary. So more resources can be diverted to other things, and they don't need such a big guard force. So Vudan ends up working with Galen and you to set up sort of a gentler sort of patrol pattern for the guards so it's not so crazy all the time. Um, that they sort of create a new force of guards that switch off being out at these bastions almost the same way Captain Pendry does with the lighthouse. So that it's kind of gentler on everybody and everyone can actually see their fucking families. A lot of households keep their dolls and figures both out of just making sure in case anything ever happens again, but also out of devotion to Tiamat. And a thing you notice as you're going around doing these studies with Galen and Vudan, and you like meet the alderman, who is very, very helpful and very generous, thankfully. You start to notice that in a few places, there are little figures of you guys.
Hmm.
Like, they're clearly not, like, enchanted with, like, giving up a finger or an eyeball, but you do see, like, there's a little chicken with a hat here is just, like, decoration, and there's a very pretty, elven man with scythe sitting over here, and there's a very dour looking elf, with a, little flask of coffee sitting here, and you find that you do find figures of you that are like cute little rag dolls, and you also find that some people just had like elephant dolls that they put a hat on.
Hmm.
It's pretty cute.
I like
Um,
that.
but you guys are known by name around Oskory, as Galen has not been shy about telling people that these are the saviors of the town. You are treated to free drinks, free meals everywhere. Um, and yeah, it's kind of nice. People are very, very helpful to you, and you learn quite a bit about how this defense system works in such a way that this may be useful to you for future use of like warding and enchanting. Which that'll come up later at some point if we need to use that knowledge. You
I will
are,
definitely need to use that knowledge.
yes.
Also, would this help me with like arcane equations? Like, would that
Um,
help me learn some of that?
Potentially. One of the biggest things you pick up from being around the Black Abbey is the unique style of casting that the faithful of Tiamat use, where it's pretty similar to others, but they do have their own like flares about it that are mostly based in the Draconic language. So that could help you in the future. Um, and I would say that I don't think you know Draconic, do you?
I do not.
While you don't know Draconic, you now recognize Draconic based spell casting, which could be helpful just for future clues and whatnot. Um, I did want to mention for Todd, you are also given free drinks, free food wherever you go. Uh,
Hmm.
and at one point, a person just straight up gives you like a bag of fresh sweet corn, and it's just like, I didn't know what you'd like, so I thought I would get you this. Um, so you can add that to your inventory if you want.
Okay.
Taiylor,
Ezra.
really
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned the quartz lens and the garnet lens. Did you say another one? I was trying to type and might have missed it.
I didn't mention any other specific ones, but if you can think of any other transparent, semi-precious stones or stones like quartz that you would like, you can do those. Like opal, I think is semi-transparent. Um,
Thin enough amethyst.
Amethyst is a great. Well, I think amethyst is technically a type of quartz. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically anything in those transparent stones and semi-precious gems family. Um, Ezra. What do
Me.
you do during these 2 weeks
Well, first,
other than teach people how to smoke?
yes, I
Hell
do
yeah.
that.
Leave it
I would like
better than
to, at some point, see if I could go back to the Black Abbey to sneak down to the mosaic again.
you don't have to sneak down. You guys are just allowed down there.
Oh, cool. Okay. Am
Oh,
I
Preston.
able?
Sorry, Preston. You are awarded a key to the restricted section.
I'll probably end up
Oh.
spending some time down there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ezra. Sorry.
I just want to see if I can talk to Ninian Lyware again.
She disintegrated.
Oh, cool. Okay, never mind. Not gonna do that. Um, cool. I'm trying. I want to try and push the boundaries of what I can do with this little dealio that I made. So I'm just kind of like, mm. But I don't want to like destroy this thing that I did, messing around, you know.
You
So,
want to try it?
What could possibly go
well,
wrong?
it could blow up. So I don't want to do that. Um, mm, Hmm. Ah. Wait, there are other mosaics in the town, yeah.
There's 10 total.
And there's people in the mosaics in
They've
those?
all disintegrated.
Oh shit, I
That
can't
was
talk to
part of the
anybody.
thing to activate the whole thing.
Fuck. Okay. Well, then I guess I'm just gonna leave it
Okay.
at that. I do want to. I will get rid of my little. I'll use my little wand that Ted gave me to dispose of the souls that I have. I don't
Remind me
have that.
again how that wand works. I can't remember.
I don't think I was given any specs or anything on
Oh
it.
yeah,
It
no,
was
the wand
just
just sends the souls. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh. So I don't have many right now. I think my counter is at like 8, but I'm like I might as well if they're all here.
I bet you
So
could find a lot more
bet I could.
just walking around.
Honestly, you do find some more just walking around.
Okay.
There's a lot of dead people here.
Yeah. So I will get as many as I can. And then I will
Okay. Gives Ezra a wand that looks halfway between a bone and a gnarled branch. A la Evan Kelp.
yep.
Gives the instructions, you bring, I give more. Um, yes, so the wand, as far as you know thus far, helps you gather souls and send them to the goose. You don't know if it does anything else.
Okay. Well, I will do that. So by like the end of as our time is dwindling down, I will send them
Keep
off and
track
see.
of your total number of souls still, but you don't have
Yeah.
those ones on you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do I see the goose at all?
No, not in this case. You hear a distant honk.
Okay.
Oh.
During that time, I am gonna try and reach out to him and be like, "Hey, so I made sort of a silly little deal, and I don't quite know how it works. So if you could like tell me if it's like if I do say that I love this person, then it'll go away, or it'll just like prevent me from doing it. Like I'll look him in the face and be like or something. Like that
So
would be super
when you are saying this,
good.
the words "I love this person" don't happen.
Fuck! Oh no. Oh. Okay, so when that happens, can I go run over to a piece of paper and can I write it down on a piece of paper, like, or try and write it down on a piece of paper?
You get the word "I" before your hand just stops.
Fuck. Damn it. Fuck. Okay. Well, that answers that question. All right, never mind. Go about your goosely business, I guess.
Honk.
Yes, honk.
Not actually.
I will send a letter to Gideon.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously not saying that because I can't. But I'll just write it and be like, general gist is like, hey, we're probably gonna be back in Constanos in a few weeks. So
Hey, cutie.
hey, Pookie. Yeah,
I
so
don't
we'll
think
probably
you're...
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just kind of letting him know.
All right. Cool. Cool, cool.
Mhm.
Now let me look at what Koop sent me. Gotcha. Okay. Is there anything Damian is doing in particular
Yes.
or in general?
Day 1. Paperwork.
Ugh.
Updating the AMC on things that have taken place. Even though the royal family is going to let them know anyway, he wants to make sure he's notifying the AMC directly that the job is done, and like what the current situation is like in Oskory. I will also note Damian, like his 4 hours long rest of meditation every night is 4 hours of long rest meditation every single night, and the other 20 hours of the day he is doing shit. So day one, paperwork. Then he gets up at buttfuck o'clock second day, and he
Been there.
Good time. I didn't know Damian felt that way.
He starts to he talks with Galen about how like there's the like the Ebon Main, but then there's like the other town guards who are like woefully untrained for everything that happened. And so Damian starts training some of the guards in town himself. And that is why the guard that bought drugs from Todd was in a really, really bad way.
I love that.
Yep.
Now he's dead.
And on top of all of that, like the guard like regiments that like go out to the bastions, Damian has a thing set up where like randomly he will attempt to attack the bastions stealthily as these like drills that they have to do to make sure that they're like paying attention and shit like that.
So you're going full military officer on them.
Yep, exactly.
And teaching them Krav Maga.
Yep. And speaking of Krav Maga, there's two other outside of that, like Damian just kind of like is available in the town to help during the day with stuff, but he takes a few hours every day to go train out in the woods on his own. And he always will use the coast, like the water on the coast, because it's cold here. He always does like ice baths afterwards by going into the water there. He is practicing like hardcore self-care right now, physically.
He's a tech bro.
So, and then how is that a tech bro thing?
Or like a finance bro thing?
How is that a finance bro thing?
They all do it.
That's an athlete thing.
Now they all do it.
That's straight up a Roy Kent thing.
That's just like an athlete thing. I've done that. I'm not a tech bro.
Weird.
The other thing that Damian does pretty quickly is he is going to go to the blacksmith, and I'm sure you saw what he asks for, Taiylor. I'm sure that is not necessarily a difficult thing for them to put together, but does take a bit of material. So that is something that he asks for, and he just starts using that immediately everywhere he goes. He's got that. But yeah, that's how he spends his 2 weeks here. And even after like 2 weeks, he doesn't spend a lot of time with the rest of the party, but you guys can see like a physical change after even just those 2 weeks of Damian like getting stronger, walking better, and even maybe like sounding better a little bit too, since he's finally decided, you know what, maybe I should take care of myself.
Cough drops.
Yeah,
he found some Ricola.
He found some Ricola. Yeah.
My God.
But that is what Damian does for those 2 weeks, and then. Does anything odd happen around the town during those 2 weeks?
We will find out after
things are getting better?
We'll find out after Ben speaks.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one thing.
Yeah.
Todd sleeps with Damian every night.
Cool.
Love that.
Yep.
Cute.
But when he gets up too early, Todd just keeps sleeping. He's just like, eh.
So during that 2 weeks, you guys do learn the extent of the damage, which thankfully is not that much. The only major losses of life were not that major, but they were among people who literally signed up for the job. It's mostly guards, Knights of Ebon Main. There are only a few civilian casualties, and maybe twice as many injuries, most of which are not very bad. There are a few outer buildings and sort of sections of forest that took some damage, and there are a couple very small fires that break out north of town because of the volcanic eruption, but they are thankfully able to be put out very quickly. It is not a very dry summer here right now, so it's not too bad. Um, the ferry that the Kilkelly ferry that runs between the three different cities on the straits comes and goes a couple of times as there are multiple ships running it. And you guys learn that the other cities are actually sending supplies in now that they know Oskory is safe. And there are huge donations made to the town, as well as the lockdown being lifted after the dome fades away. Uh, Caravans are going to be sent from Lund to send supplies in. Trade routes are going to start going through Oskory again. Yes.
One quick thing that I have to make sure I include with the paperwork that I did earlier is I do send the AMC a notification about the ship's captain that we killed.
Uh-huh.
And basically a description of the events that take place. I leave Todd out of it, and I tell them that that man and his crew were killed because I was defending myself and I was defending citizens of Oskory.
Gotcha. Good to know.
You're welcome.
See,
Todd.
this is the difference between adventurers and like actual law people, is that the law people are like, oh fuck, I better get the paperwork
Gotta
straight.
do the paperwork.
Guys, stop it. Stop it with your fucking Chicago bullshit.
No.
Anyway. After the dome fades away, a few days before you guys are getting ready to leave, these like new supplies and whatnot are coming in. And on your last day in Oskory, as people are kind of throwing you a party that's just erupted across the whole town, your reward arrives from the royal family of Lund.
$1 billion gold.
It arrives to Damian, being that he was the original person who took the contract, and you are all considered part of his group now. And it is 5,000 gold. Along with which, you are given another 1,000 from Galen after he unlocks the Black Abbey's treasury. He apologizes that it can't be more, but he has a lot of money to spend on the village, and also on some cleanup and expeditions north to see how bad the damage was from the volcano. But along with that, your travel to Constanos will be fully paid for. And I don't mean just, yes, let's buy you economy seats. You guys are going first class on every mode of transport.
Yes. Hell
Yeah,
yes.
leg room.
Hot towels.
Chocolates on the
Champagne.
pillows.
Mm-hmm.
I give everyone 1,500 gold.
Yay.
Ooh.
Taiylor, I send 1,000 of the gold that I got back to Renee.
Okay, keep track of that.
Okay.
Do you know how much Renee has in total from you?
1,000.
That's all you have right now? She did spend a lot on your bullshit, didn't she?
I don't know. Well, we never established how much she had when we started.
Okay.
So that's
I'll do
that's
that.
all I know
Remind
is
me,
that
like,
I've
message
that.
me that, and I'll figure that out later, because you do
Okay.
have at least a small fund with her.
Okay.
Did you send her anything about these guys joining your little group?
I sent her the thing about Preston from before.
Okay.
I imagine that when I do send the money back to her, I basically send her my entire case recap of what happened here,
Okay.
as well as letting her know that the plan is for the four of us to head to Constanos next.
Okay. So she learns that your brother, a chicken, and an elephant have joined your team. Great.
Yeah.
So each of you, while you are en route to Constanos, will receive a Vodro post letter from a Renee Moreau.
Mm.
It is a little dry. in that it's a very formal welcome, and basically Renee introducing herself. Uh, she writes in a pretty sharp and uh, it has a little bit of flow to it, but a very sharp and straightforward handwriting. There's no like curls or like long like dots of the I or loops of the G. It is very like this woman learned to write from an auto writer. Um, and it's very much like, my name is Renee Moreau. I am Damian's secretary, handler, chief cook, and bottle washer, so on and so forth. Welcome to Castille Investigations. We are based in Ferry's End in Garrel, which you are welcome to at any time. If you are going to work with us, you do, of course, have access to some of our funds as needed, as approved by Damian. And she kind of goes through some details about how this arrangement works. And it boils down to, if you need something, ask Damian, he'll let me know. Um, but her letter to Ezra is slightly less dry. Ezra, your letter
Oh
comes
my
with a little
God,
bit of a
you get out
warmer.
here right now. Can you guys
What?
see him?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Just
It's
a
like-
normal day.
It's like Dear
Terrifying.
Krampus.
Jesus Christ.
Does he just go run around in the woods with that on? Is that what happened?
Thankfully, no, because he'd be fucking
I
shot.
was gonna say, should not
Probably.
do that in Michigan.
No. Uh-uh.
Christ.
So Ezra,
Yeah.
your letter is a little less dry.
Uh-huh.
Renee gives you a little bit of a warmer welcome, but explains the same things, who she is, what she does. And she leaves a sort of personal note at the bottom that basically says, I'm very glad you're with your brother. He has needed someone, anyone, for a while. And thank you for taking care of him when he's across the world from me. I hope to see you in Fairy's End soon.
I'm going to write her back
Oh, okay.
and say something very professional along the lines of thank you for your correspondence. It is my pleasure to keep an eye on Damian. And then as I get along, I'm just going to be like, also, if you have any blackmail information on my brother that might be useful to me, please send it along at your earliest convenience. Thank you.
You will get almost an immediate reply via Vodro that says, I have so much. And that's all it says.
I will Vodro, I don't care how much it costs, I will Vodro a thing right back. And it is just a single word that says dish.
She does not yet.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
She has to get the measure of you a little
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
but she might. Damian, you are aware that these letters are happening. You've never seen Renee write to somebody more than once in a day.
Yeah, I'm like
She's not that friendly.
I'm a little confused by the amount of correspondence between Ezra and Renee, but also at the same time, I'm way too busy to care right now.
Yeah.
I'm working on me.
Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you're using the airship's like luxury gym and recovery areas, the massage parlor and the ice baths. The what are those things called?
I
Those
got
big
the Planet
machines?
Fitness membership just
Right,
to use the
yeah.
massage beds.
Yeah.
The sauna room, yeah.
Free pizza parties every month.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Oh
Woo.
no. There's
Uh-oh.
Nutella all over the floor now.
I love just the woo. Oh no. But yes,
Well, it lands sticky side down, of course.
you guys leave Oskory on board the ferry, and when you get to the city of Amran, which is a fair sight bigger than Oskory, but not as big as Lund, you board
Lund.
a sizable but not the biggest airship, a passenger airship, bound for Constanos with a couple minor stops along the way for supplies. These airships now in this era move quite a bit faster. Um, so while it is days and days of travel, it's not months anymore. Smaller airships are not capable of this kind of speed. It's like passenger and major rich merchant vessels that are capable of this kind of speed. But you guys get the best because it was paid for by Oskory. So you fucking hoof it to Constanos. Along the way, there are plenty of like amenities. Like imagine a Titanic that doesn't suck, um, for size, and then like all the amenities that a first class passenger could expect aboard like a cruise ship.
Oh my
And
God, it's
that's
a Royal
kind of what you guys
Caribbean.
get. It's like a Disney cruise ship.
It's
Oh
a
my
Royal
God.
Constanian.
Oh my God, it doesn't sink.
Is there a
Well,
I will say those cruise ships are way bigger than the Titanic
Oh,
ever
wait.
was.
They are
Mhm.
now,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
saying this is Titanic size,
Okay.
modern for the world amenities.
Is there a Taiylor
okay.
on this ship?
There are plenty of Taylors.
Okay.
It's a very
Lovely.
common
Oh.
name.
There's
Is
one right
there-
there.
Is there someone who tailors clothes on the ship?
Indeed, there is.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
they do. They do have like launderers and people who can fix up stuff. They have like a full crew as well.
Well, I assume like because we're going to Constanos, they probably are like. That feels like the kind of thing that would be there, where they're like, "Oh, if you need to get some Constanian fashion before you make it to
Oh,
the
so
city."
you're looking for like an Emerald City
You
kind of
want a
vibe.
makeover?
Kind of. I just want a nice suit for
Can
when
you
we go
dye
to
my
Constanos.
eyes?
Also,
Yeah.
My gown?
Todd put a hole in the back of my nice coat, so
That's true.
yeah.
That's easily fixed. They'll do that for you.
Sucks to suck.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys head on to Oskory. Uh,
You mean
we
and-
leave Oskory.
Yeah.
or sorry, yes, you'll head on to Constanos, flying across the continent of Garrett Eldathos after crossing the ocean between. Yes, Ben.
What are the chances I can offload the rest of my drugs when we make those stops?
Pretty fucking good, actually. You could probably
It's
sell them on
Constano.
board.
No,
Oh,
I know,
yeah,
but we're
like-
stopping along the way, so.
Yeah. One place that you do stop, you cross most of the western part of the continent, but you guys do actually stop at Skolgir, which is Skogerheim, which is where the Guild of the Gate and the Realm Gate are, except now it's not just a fortress, it is a city. So you guys do make a stop there. Yes.
Woo.
Question. Given
Yeah.
my passive perception and investigation, am I aware that Todd is illegally selling drugs while we're on the ship on the way back, and also when we were in Oskory?
What's your passive perception? And Todd, roll me a
I'm-
stealth check.
I only sell them at port. I don't sell them on the ship.
Okay.
Ah, gotcha. My passive perception is 17.
Okay.
Nat one.
You are absolutely aware that Todd is doing this.
I take no action,
Good.
I have a luck point, but I'm not going to use
but
it.
I now know a drug dealer if I need one.
But
Oh yeah. Well, my passive perception is also 17, and I notice this, and I go
Yes.
up to Todd, and I'm like, "You got any of the good shit?
I
The
got
kind
one
that won't, the
I'm
kind
the
that
drug
won't
fairy.
kill me."
left. Drug fairy?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I hand it over. I'm just like, will this kill you?
Wings have like one feather that comes out to be like an opposable
thumb.
thumb. You're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, look what I got. I got it.
Yeah. Look at it.
I like to imagine it's kind of like the fairy godmother from Cinderella. Like every time someone asks, he just spins around. There's like a different hat on.
Drugs.
He just like has the
Oh my
little
God.
wand.
It's a
Yeah.
wooden dowel, by the way, you two.
What's
It's a wooden
the What's
dowel.
the one? What's the one that's the euphoric one? Do you have that one?
that is
Claw
Clawleaf. Yes.
That's
you
what I
have
got.
that, yeah.
Taking
Uh-huh.
that-
very small amounts, it can be safe, but the amount he's selling will kill you.
Okay. No,
You
I'll
don't
buy
have to
some.
take all of it.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not stupid. I don't even know if it's gonna be for me.
I don't even know what it is.
Cool.
Chickens don't
I'll
have cheeks. They can't smoke.
I'll
Yep.
take it.
I found it on the
not,
side of the
it's
road.
it's a snort, not a smoke.
Yeah. I'll take
Chickens
it.
don't have lungs, so
Oh, to give you
They
guys
sure
an
do,
idea, to give you
but
guys an idea of what this looks like. So when you combine those like nice baking ingredients with panna, the sugar crystallizes and you shatter it into powder. So
yeah.
it's like a
So
sort
meth.
of golden colored powder.
Meth.
yes, golden
Yeah.
meth.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I'll take some.
Cool.
It's also
30
spicy.
gold.
All right. 30 gold. Jesus Christ.
That's what I said.
How much can I get this for in Constanos, DM?
For
I
the
know
same
drug dealers.
amount,
Yeah.
you would probably make me a history check.
Ezra's gonna try to sell Todd's stock for more money.
Well, I mean, if you
I
split
don't
it into
have-
smaller doses.
We're
I
gonna
don't
have-
have my dice out, so I'm going to use this huge dice.
We're gonna have 2 drug dealers
Um,
in the party.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucked. And it was really loud. 5.
5?
Yeah.
The price Todd is offering you sounds pretty fair, but you're used to seeing this sold in much smaller amounts, which the more you split it up and if you cut it with something, you can make a lot more money on this. He's selling like the pure stuff.
Gotcha. All right, sure.
Pure meth.
Taiylor,
Yo,
question.
Thank you.
yo.
You're
Do
welcome.
at any point during my travels, do I receive a letter back from Dell regarding our Arrowhead friend? And also, do I receive a letter back at any point from Renee regarding the thing that I asked her to look into in Constanos before we reach there?
I believe I did write those. Let me find them.
Sure.
Also, did we get a letter back about Preston?
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's the other thing I was
Damian-
wondering about, yeah.
Damian specifically would get a letter back about Preston, and considering what you rolled at the time, they basically say, we understand your situation, and being that it is part of a, basically a bunch of jargon that they're saying, like, oh, you're doing actual, like, you know, almost police work. We understand that. We will consider him...
society.
Yeah, we will consider him under your control for the moment, but we do still require this this arm back, and they give you 2 months to return it.
Okay. So we just got to keep the courts busy because it's like the
Yeah.
TikTok thing, you know.
Yeah.
They're not actually going to ban it in 7 months. It's just going to get locked up in the courts, and it'll be 3 years at most.
Yeah. While a bunch of old white men continue to not understand technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I swear I am not a cat.
It's from China. That's all I care about.
Oh, yeah, you had other letters to answer Koop about.
Yes. I'm trying to find them.
Oh, I just thought of something I need to do while we're on the boat as well.
And then Fustrock needs to send his letters.
I don't have any letters to send.
Oh, okay. I like how
Also,
you
all-
kind of
all
did
All my
the
family is dead.
Yeah, I thought you did the Fustrock voice for a second there.
So that's the fucked up thing. Apparently the other night I said pardon me in like a Texan accent in my sleep.
Oh,
I woke up to a message from my
Pardon
wife
me.
that was sent at 4:30 in the morning. I just went,
That's
pardon
hilarious.
me, and that was it.
Pardon me, man.
love it.
Sorry, it's
I'm
taking
telling
a
you,
second
you
to
just
load.
watched too much Fallout.
I've only
Dreaming
watched
about
one
that.
episode of Fallout.
Dream about that sweet, sweet ghoul dick.
No.
Woof.
Wow.
Everybody else is. I'm just saying.
You and I are on different sides of the internet entirely.
Yeah, we are.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, so I fought the Great Marlboro in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth the other day, and I was like, Jesus Christ, the mouth on this is terrifying. Why do I know so many of my friends would try to fuck this?
Talk to Hannah about it. I'm sure they'll
Don't
be
look
like,
at me
oh,
about that. I'm
yeah.
good.
Damian. So what was the letter you sent to Renee? Remind me one more time.
So the one that I sent to Renee was because of the specific symptoms of people in the area of Constanos that we're going to. I wanted to know if there were any companies in that particular area that were using there's a specific word for it. I can't remember what it is. It's kind of like a blood thinner, but it is something that would cause you to have issues specifically with your blood. If that was to
I
happen.
can't find the letter. I
I'm
remember
actually
what you're talking
Like a
about, though.
coagulant?
No.
Hold on.
An anticoagulant.
Well, if they're bleeding out of everywhere, you want a coagulant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought he meant they were being dosed with it.
Maybe, who knows?
We'll cut this out of the actual recording.
Nah, we're good.
This is taking a long time.
I
That's
thought
okay. We
that
can
I
just tell jokes.
yeah,
Ash.
I thought that I had sent an actual letter, and so I was looking for it in the. I have a letters folder.
You did send me what you said to them.
But
I
I
just
think
can't fucking find it.
I think I sent it in an actual like messenger message instead of putting
Ew.
an actual doc together, and that's the problem. Wait, hold on. Who's my mole at the company
Wally.
de Fleur? Wally. That's right. I remember I brought up Wally's name.
Nice.
So it might be. No.
Does this Wally know that no means no?
Yes.
Did you say her name is Walleen?
No,
Like
Wally.
Jolene?
No.
Oh,
Wally.
okay.
No.
I thought you said Walleen for a second, and I was like, I love this. This is my favorite person ever now.
You live on a dump in a future Earth.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. Okay. So I said, job is taking longer than anticipated. Face stuff. And then I sent little responses for each of the cases that I had stuff for. And for this, I said, this case is on my list. My poison kit is in the locked trunk in my office. Key is inside the third case journal on my top shelf. There should be a list of thrombolytic agents. See if any factories in Smokeway use these. You could reach out to Wally. And then thrombolytic agents are they're blood clot busting drugs. And so that's
I found her response.
okay, good.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. I'll send you the rest of this one.
Yeah, we're almost done anyway, so I can look that over in between cases.
Okay, relating to the Boeing fever, her response is, I think I see where you're going with the thrombolytics. It sounds like a medication or medicine trial gone very wrong. But why the eyes and why only humans? No answers there yet. Reached out to some Constanos connections. Wally got back to me within the hour, saying he's seen the fever personally. I'll get details, and I'm looking into coroner's reports. Okay. That's what she said. Dell does answer you back about the arrowhead.
Trying to figure out what broke Blake and Ash here a second. I think it might have been the dick joke in the
Yeah, it was
The
Ben saying
thrombolytic
that's what
agents?
makes the PP hard.
oh my god.
Yeah, thanks. Good job.
I read Corey's voice. That's why I broke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what makes this. Yeah. Anyway. So, Damian, you do get a response from Dell. The letter you get describes a missing person case from open to close. To the untrained eye, it's simply a story. To Damian, it's an encoded message in Thieves' Cant hidden well by an experienced hand. A newspaper from the Sotiri Windward Journal in early 440 E2AC is also attached.
Do you want to know the dumbest thing in the world, Taiylor?
What?
When I sent this letter to Dell, I did this whole thing where I was like, "Oh yeah, there's like a newspaper that's like really niche that like only the group that Damian was part of like is aware of." And so then when they send encoded letters, they reference these newspapers, and then you can
Yep.
look up stuff there.
That's
And then
really cool.
I was like, "Nah, that's too complicated. He just sends it in Thieves' Cant instead." And then you're coming at me with like literally the exact idea I thought of and then decided not to do.
Same brains.
Same brains.
So, yeah, let's do this. This is great. But within the letter, you get need to know, check. Saw one of these arrowheads illustrated early this year in a newspaper article. Never had a chance to check it out. Jess reached out and found the article in the Sotiri Windward archives. Attached a clipping for you. I asked Jess if she knew anything about this, since she likes reading cold cases. Turns out she knows a lot. This is one of her favorites. She gave me a quick rundown on the Confessor's story in Caladros. Sounds like they have to be a veteran of one or both rebellions. Whichever side they were on, they aren't now. They kill anyone, Hesperian or rebel, responsible for major violence against civilians. Considering who we were back then, I'd think this guy would be hunting for us, especially M. Not sure if M will be able to help, but let me know if you need help getting a hold of him. He's not far from where you are now. Don't want to disclose his location in writing, even in code. Eyes sharp, DB. The clipping is titled Confessor Returns, Euphona Noble Found Dead. Euphona being a state in the Hesperian Empire. DF 24th, 440 E2AC, Sotiri Garrett Eldathos. This morning, while performing routine inspections of the piers in Sotiri Harbor, a crew of longshoremen were forced to row ashore when their steamboat's propeller got caught up in a lost net. Once on shore, the crew discovered the body of a sun elf wrapped in the snagged net. As soon as the authorities arrived, the elf was able to be identified as 17-year-old Lord Turin Euphona, a member of House Euphona from the Hesperian state of Andravar. Euphona family of Andravar. Constantian officials have yet to report a cause of death, but foul play is highly suspected due to the presence of an arrowhead on the body. The arrowhead is carved with a geometric arrow symbol on one side and slashing letters on the other, forming the word sin. This, of course, was once the calling card of the serial killer, the Confessor. Readers may recall the death of Lord Turin's mother, Lady Irina Euphona, and the kidnapping of her young twin sons in 437 at the hands of the Confessor. According to stories from the time in Andravar, young Lord Turin was 14 at the time and deeply wounded by the losses. As soon as he turned 15 in 438, he left the Hesperian Empire with his bodyguard and swore to find the Confessor whom had torn his family apart. Voices around the port appear to echo the same questions. Is the Confessor in Sotiri? Did Lord Turin find him and pay for it with his life? Or did the Confessor hunt the young lord down first? There's no way to know unless authorities can glean something new about the killer from his most recent death. At the time of writing, the investigation is being taken up by the Kestrel Mace from Constanos due to the high-profile victims in the Confessor's wake. It may even be elevated to the World Overseer Commission if diplomatic tensions flare between Sotiria and the Hesperian Empire. The WOC has always kept the International Commission Alliance's members' safety high on their list of priorities. Until more information is gleaned, Sotiri Governor Rutan Holloway has tripled security at the city gates, and all non-citizens are being inspected. Any information regarding the last sightings of Lord Turin Euphona or possible sightings of the Confessor should be reported to the Sotiri City Watch or may be mailed anonymously to Sotiri Watch Office 14 Culverin Boulevard, Sotiri Gyaradeldathas. I do have this all written, so...
Okay. Yeah, if you can send that to me.
Absolutely.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
That was a lot, but yes.
Um, so, Coop, do you have any more for Damian? I don't want to take the spotlight from you otherwise.
At this point, probably not. Damien is, before we land, gonna want to just talk to everyone. Um, but that's like before we land, just going over like game plan and stuff like that.
We'll go over
Okay.
landing and the opening of case 2 next time.
Preston has two things he would like to do. One, he would like to cast Identify on the shacks.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
call.
shit. I'm not prepared for that. Okay, Identify.
I
I
appreciate
can
that
do this
actually.
quick. This is easy. All right. So when you identify it, you. So I made the mistake of actually calling it its name when I revealed it to you guys. It is called the Shacks. Uh, Specifically, oh God, what was it? It was the Shacks of the Digger Knight was what it was called. Uh, Not the greatest name, but fuck it. Uh, it is considered a battle axe. It does require attunement to use its abilities, but you can use it just as a weapon otherwise. Its major ability is essentially to cleave, which will allow you to hit uh, basically anyone in a half circle in front of you within 5 feet. This was taken from Baldur's Gate. It has that cleave ability, which will deal. You roll one hit, and it applies to everyone's armor class, and you roll damage that applies to everybody in that arc. Um, but yeah, it is the weapon of the Shovel Knight.
Sweet.
We love a weapon none of us can really use.
Yeah, it's
Nope.
also versatile. It can be used one or two-handed.
Okay.
It's really more for fun.
Yeah. We'll sell it.
The other thing that I would like to do is I would like to try and work on those lenses.
Yeah.
In particular, the quartz lens. Given some of the knowledge that I have gained of enchantment and my new ability with Tinker's tools, actually, I should say my new expertise with Tinker's tools, I would like to try and imbue the quartz lens with detect magic.
Okay.
Basically making it so that when you look through it, it will detect magic, but not necessarily tell you the school, just because I'm a beginner.
Okay. I would say for this, go ahead and roll me a Tinker's Tools check and an Arcana check.
Okay, now, question. I've
Yeah.
never rolled a Tinker Tools check before.
Ben, help, I forget.
Is this just, I'm pretty sure it's like a D20 plus proficiency, but it'd
So
be double proficiency because I have expertise.
From what I understand it's a trying to think of the way I used to use it was I would use my sleight of hand because it was dexterity based.
Mhm.
And then since it was expertise, I would just double it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what's your sleight of hand?
+2. And
Okay.
then I have +3 proficiency.
So it
It
says
should be plus 10.
dexterity check, and then you would add your proficiency twice.
Okay.
I think we
yeah,
did
so,
sleight of hand because I didn't know the actual rules back then.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
the math comes out the same either way for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get +8 to the roll regardless.
There is a gold cost for enchanting. I would say for something this simple, I mean, even though detect magic is not necessarily a cantrip, the way you're setting it up is kind of cantrippy. So let's call that a 50 gold cost.
Okay.
And being that you have so much time to work on it, I will give you advantage on your roll.
All right. So that is. Oh, okay. So that is an 18 plus 8 for a 26.
Nice.
Uh,
So
That's the Tinker, the Arcana roll I have not done yet, though.
go ahead.
Arcana's not as good at an 11.
Okay. So being that you have never really enchanted before, you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants here. But you have a vision of where you're going. So while the magical side is like, ooh, I need to learn more to really make this more of these lenses work, you realize how much you don't know. You know enough that with some very clever crafting and a little bit of the stuff you learned in Oskory, you do manage to imbue the quartz lens with detect magic. It has a full casting of detect magic once per day. So it
Ooh,
will identify schools for you. And
right.
that's your reward for a very good roll.
Man, I should have done guidance and made it a 30.
Shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Full cast. And that's once per day?
once per day. Free casting.
Okay. I will be also taking that to Damian.
Okay.
So once I have it and I confirm that it works, I'll be bringing that to Damian in his room on the ship.
Cool. When I know that Preston can cast Identify, I want him to identify the spoon.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Oh, fuck.
Boom.
The spoon that's definitely not a cursed object.
No.
I mean, Identify won't tell you about a curse, will it?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's what I thought.
No, we made that mistake in campaign 1.
And campaign 2.
We learned.
Yeah. Just like you made the mistake that Kit could for sure turn into a young gold dragon using polymorph.
Yep.
Not a mistake. Just really cool.
No, it was great.
That's the opposite of power creep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
Cast Wish once per day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Preston, do you want to identify the spoon?
Yeah.
All right.
Still cost 25,000 gold.
It is not cursed.
We wouldn't
It
know
does
if it was
have
cursed
a
or not.
it does have a magical effect. Or yeah, no, you don't know technically. Whatever. You're aware that it has an effect that is not a curse, but you don't know if there is or isn't a curse. This is called the Dreadful Spoon.
Oh my god.
It causes the holder to feel immense dread, but the only effect it actually has is that it can't function like a spoon. Instead, it functions like a fork. Liquids go through it while it can be used to stab solids confidently.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I cannot wait to stab people confidently with this.
You brought a spoon to a knife fight?
I am
You
going
bet I
to
did.
Yeah, fuck you.
I am going to have someone make me like a Assassin's Creed like hidden blade that the spoon pops out of instead.
For use as a weapon, if you are interested, it functions like a dagger, but 2 damage die instead of 1.
Oh shit.
So it actually
Wow.
is a pretty good dagger.
That's actually a really good dagger.
Yeah. So write that down. I don't have that written
2d4,
down.
holy shit.
I want to see you just huck this spoon at people.
This
It
is
just lands
actually
right here, and they're like,
one of the better magic items I've seen in campaign.
wow, thanks. Thanks. I worked hard on some of those. This one I was like, that sounds stupid. Let's do it.
No, that's actually really cool.
I love
The
it.
Dreadful Spoon. Actually, if you stab somebody with it, they feel dread too.
That's
So it could be
Yes, they are
effective. You
technically
might
horses.
oh my
actually.
god! You could actually intimidate people with it or make them afraid.
I would allow
Interrogate.
it. It's a good interrogation tool,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
You just stick it in their thigh and they're like, huh.
And the whole
Torture-
time they're
torture
just
went
like,
really well
why
for
are you
us
doing
last
this
campaign.
with a spoon?
And why is it so effective?
Why is the spoon so scary?
Oh,
I
that's
never thought I
delightful.
would say that sentence in my entire life. Why is the spoon so scary?
Koop, if you would like, I can try to make the detectives loop in D&D Beyond, and
Sure.
then like get you that.
Sure.
Okay. So, with all that said, we will zoom out of the travel and downtime. Ugh, case 1 closed. Jesus Christ.
What's
The
the name
Oskory
of
Yay.
case 2?
Yay.
The
Only took
Now
us
case.
we
16
deal with the
sessions.
thrombing.
The thromboning.
The
Jesus
thrombing.
Christ.
It's big hard PP.
Yep.
I don't like it being said out loud.
I hate you people. You guys are fucking awful. I'm grabbing it. Hold on.
We are
Um,
awful, thank you.
So, case 2.
Here's the earth. Okay.
What I'm gonna do is for every dumb name that we came up with, I'm gonna have like a title card flash across the screen that says that name with like really dramatic music, but it'll be like the Thrombonine, the Big Hard PP, and then we'll like finally get to the one that it actually is.
I love it. That's actually the title of my next book.
Yeah.
The Big Hard PP.
Yep.
Wow.
The thrombing.
I mean, I guess it's direct advertising, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Damian,
Yeah.
I'm going to, and or Zach, wow. I am going to use what Renee sent you as sort of the basis for this. If I can fucking find it.
Fuck.
The case is called Thrombolic Agents and Where to Find Them.
Ah. How to train your thrombosis.
Stop it. Okay. So case 2, as you guys learn from Damian and also Renee giving you a little bit of info, case 2 will be the Boeing God damn it. The Boeing the Boeing
Title card.
the bro Boeing.
Jesus Christ! What are
What
you
I did
trying
on
to
purpose.
say?
That
What
It's
was
is
like you're trying to
purpose.
speak to me, I know.
I did that one on purpose. The Boeing fever outbreak.
Oh
Fever
The
no.
outbreak.
Boeing, the froing, the
The
fevening.
boning.
Yeah, it will be the boning when we see some certain people.
The bone fever outbreak.
So, Renee's basic compilation of the information on this is an outbreak of human malady known as the Boeing fever or blind fever has cropped up in Constanos. The sickness was discovered in 356 E2AC by Dr. Andrea Boeing of the Constanian Board of Health after over 50% of the humans in Smokeway, Constanos came down with fevers and a type of eye infection never before seen. Blood vessels in the eyes would start to dissolve and leak, leading to the sclera turning red. Some patients' eyes would dissolve so badly that they had to be removed lest they cause a wider infection. Most get away with only little to no damage, but some have permanent vision damage, lose their eyes entirely, or die of infection in worse cases. The outbreak in 356 was brought under control with fever reducers and, in serious cases, the aid of a panna-based aspirin-type drug that ended up causing widespread addiction. While the drug has been adjusted a bit to be less addictive, it can still be a problem and is far too expensive for most people. More small outbreaks occurred in 367, 398, and 410. Each time the Boeing fever was a little mutated and required the treatments to be adjusted as well. All of the outbreaks have been traced to Smokeway. As of late 4:39, a new outbreak has begun in Smokeway again. At this point, scientists and doctors are certain Smokeway is ground zero, but they cannot quite find the source. Locals believe it's the ward's namesake. Smokeway was originally named such since it was the center of industry where all the blacksmiths, potters, and other artisans worked. Forges and kilns and chimneys would spit dark smoke into the sky at all hours. Today is the home of many factories that do the same while also dumping runoff into the Anima River and Quarry Lake. But if the source really was in the air or water, why aren't people outside Smokeway getting this fever, and why only humans? Renee also adds a note that she thinks that this one's been on her mind lately. She believes someone is paying to keep this quiet, and that this could potentially be a medical trial or testing gone wrong. And people are getting infected and sick without making contact with other infected folks. And now, of course, as of what she learned from Damian and the lead she's been following, she is now checking into coroner's reports and seeing if she can get more information from some friends in the city.
The Brobo breakout.
The Froning Beaver freakout. The Froning Beaver freakout. That's what it is now. What's up?
My God.
Oh my God.
Right though. Goddamn. It's like that SpongeBob episode where he's like the bash singing, the hash minging, the fucking yeah.
Exactly what it's like.
The hash slinging slasher.
But that's the information you guys are coming in with when you land, which we will do next time. But as of now, that fully brings us into case 2. Does anybody have questions about the previous case?
Not on stream.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, no chat Lauren this time, I guess.
We do chat Lauren next time.
I guess this was kind of a chat Lauren. It was just downtime.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think we need one. I think everything was wrapped up really well.
I think so. Yeah.
But Koop, are you like singing the Oompa Loompa song in your head while you're doing this?
Yeah,
because that's all I hear.
Maybe.
He just really has to pee, guys.
No, I've been standing all day, and so my legs are starting to get a little stiff.
A little eepy.
I need to get some
thrombolygations
to help.
For anybody who cares to know,
all 5 of us share one brain cell.
You really do. I love how I said you really do and didn't consider myself part of that. So a thrombolytic
collective you.
A thrombolytic medicine or therapy uses medication to destroy blood clots and prevent new ones from forming.
Yeah, like what I'm on.
So the reason that this came up is because whatever the sickness was dissolving people's blood vessels in their eyes. And so that was kind of the root of the thought.
Yeah. And Damian has no experience with... Never mind.
Yeah. But anyway, we're kind of going along the edge of science fiction using that, but fuck it, it's magic. It's also a different universe. Physics don't apply here. But yeah, I think that's a nice little bow to put a nice little bowing fever to put on the end of the episode. We got everybody to where they're supposed to be and did all the downtime.
Bro. Broing fever. It'll be between episodes like 13 and 14 or 14 and 15.
I love that anytime anyone makes a sound that is even remotely like hubba, we all go dog of wisdom.
Have to.
Must. But yeah, so I think I'll just jump into outroing us then. I think we're good to go.
Do it.
All right. So thank you
Ciao,
everybody for
ciao.
watching us and joining us, not watching us. Thank you for joining us. You can catch episodes on YouTube. I will get the Spotify up to date someday, I swear to God. And we release episodes usually every other Saturday. Of course, you will have noticed a break in there because some shit happened, but we are back.
We're all kind of okay.
We're all kind of okay. I'm medicated, so I'm better.
Yeah.
But next time we will begin the Boeing fever outbreak case 2 in lovely old Constanos, a place we've been many times before in these campaigns. And we will be meeting such beautiful characters as perhaps the La Compagnie de Fleur, like Wally and
Brubabo.
Butch and Madame Bastien, perhaps, and Gideon.
Catfish Jim.
And we'll see if Sylphie and Marin are still there.
Catfish Jim is in a different place.
It's Catfish
Hartstead.
Ben.
It's
Hell.
also Catfish Ben, not
Yeah,
Catfish
it's
Yeah.
Catfish
Jim.
Ben.
Yeah,
It's
Catfish,
been a while.
Catfish Ben is in a very different place.
He's in Fairy's End and Garel Shell.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun fact, just for the Castille brothers to know, Hartstead Square is Wally's favorite place to go eat donuts and drink cider.
Aw, cute. Love that.
Zack likes that and also is now thinking that that means that Wally is like, I don't even know. Never mind. Whatever.
Oh my god, not everybody is like a descendant of like.
It's it, Lauren. Everyone is a
No,
descendant.
I
of
know
someone.
what I know what he's thinking, and I said it for that reason.
Yeah.
But yes.
To fuck with me.
No, we love you. But we will see everybody next time and get this show back on the fucking road and kill some shit, along with mysteries. Many
Yeah.
mysteries.
Bro, bye.
Woo! Bye.
Goodbye.
Did you say girl bye?
I said
Girl,
bro,
bye.
bro, bye.
Girl,
Oh,
bye.
bro bye.
Bro,
Okay.
bye. Yeah.